Welcome to today's Explainer. You know, as a cardiologist, I see folks over 50 all the time who hold on to this one very common belief. They think, well, sugar is really just an issue if I'm trying to lose weight. But the truth is, once we cross that 50-year mark, sugar is no longer just a story about our waistlines. It's actually a hidden reality unfolding right inside your body. As we age, excess sugar starts causing this invisible damage to the tiny blood vessels that your body depends on every single day. So let's peel back the truth about what is actually happening in your circulatory system.
I want you to really think about this for a second. Excess sugar, it doesn't attack you loudly, right? You don't wake up one morning and suddenly feel your arteries hardening. There's no alarm bell. This process happens in complete silence. Long before diabetes ever shows up on a blood test, the excess sugar in a daily diet is already battering your tiny blood vessels. We're talking micro tears here, a little bit of inflammation there. And if you are currently managing prediabetes or high blood pressure, well, this risk is significantly higher for you.
Let's get right into Section 1, blood vessel damage. We'll look at what sugar actually does.
Most people kind of picture blood vessels as lifeless plastic pipes, just plumbing meant to carry blood. But the reality? Your blood vessels are living, highly dynamic tissues. They are constantly expanding and relaxing to deliver oxygen to your heart and your brain. And this brings us to a really crucial concept, the endothelium. You can think of it as this delicate, perfectly smooth, protective, non-stick coating that lines the inside of absolutely every single blood vessel. But here's the catch. When your blood sugar stays consistently high, this delicate protective layer is literally the very first target under attack. It gets irritated, rough, and inflamed.
What I see in my patients is exactly this. Continuous high blood sugar creates what we call oxidative stress. It is exactly like rust eating away at the inside of a metal pipe. This process just continuously erodes that delicate endothelium. So instead of being soft and flexible, expanding smoothly like they should, your blood vessels become stiff and rigid. And when your vessels get stiff, no surprise, your heart is forced to pump so much harder just to push the blood through. Over time, this directly leads to high blood pressure and really weakens your entire circulatory system.
Moving right along to Section 2, the glycation aging mechanism. Let's see why this gets worse after 50.
We really have to accept a simple physiological reality here. As we cross 50, our muscle mass naturally declines and our insulin sensitivity drops. Because our bodies just aren't processing glucose as efficiently anymore, this process called glycation kind of takes over. Extra sugar ends up staying in your bloodstream much longer, it floats around, and eventually it literally attaches itself to proteins in your body. Together, they form what are called AGEs, or advanced glycation end products. And true to their name, they literally age your body faster. They stiffen everything they touch. Your arteries harden, your skin wrinkles, and honestly, most terrifyingly, the microvessels feeding your brain get damaged. This directly impairs your memory and accelerates brain aging.
Next up is Section 3, early warning signs. How to tell if your vessels are struggling.
Now, while this destruction happens silently, your body does whisper before it shouts. Do your hands and feet often feel cold? Maybe you get leg cramps when you're just out for a walk. Or you feel extreme fatigue right after you eat. You might even experience tingling in your feet, or what we call brain fog and a noticeable decline in your memory. The really crucial point here is that I see countless older adults brush these signs off. They tell themselves, oh, it's just aging. It's not. This is the alarm bell of a failing circulatory system being ravaged by sugar. Things like memory decline and tingling in your extremities, those are glaring proof that your nerve microvessels are severely deprived of oxygen.
Let's dive into Section 4, hidden sugar traps. These are the things most of us miss.
You might be sitting there thinking, but doc, I really don't eat a lot of sweets. And this is exactly where we have to expose the real culprits. The real danger is hiding right there in the grocery store aisles. We're all usually pretty cautious about the obvious treats, right? The large slices of cake, a big chocolate muffin, or a glazed donut. But we so easily consume massive amounts of hidden sugar through foods that are marketed as healthy. Things like bottled smoothies, flavored yogurts, and granola bars are just loaded with added sugars. And even worse,
Everyday staples like breakfast cereals, pasta sauces, white bread, and low-fat processed foods completely lack the dietary fiber your body desperately needs to slow down the absorption of all that sugar into your bloodstream.
And out of all these traps, liquid sugar is absolutely your endothelium's worst enemy. Sodas, sweet teas, energy drinks, and heavily flavored coffee syrups, they hit your bloodstream instantly because there is absolutely no fiber barrier there. This creates a massive blood sugar spike, followed by a really extreme crash. Repeating these rapid spike and crash cycles day after day, it completely exhausts your arteries and physically batters that delicate protective lining in your vessels over time.
Now for the good news in Section 5, blood vessel recovery, how we can start protecting your arteries.
I know all this information can sound pretty concerning, but here is where we find real hope in highly actionable solutions. Scientific evidence shows us that our circulatory system has this incredible ability to recover if we just give it the right environment. And the best part? You don't need extreme diets. You just need better food combinations. Instead of eating what we call naked carbs, like a slice of plain white toast that it instantly spikes your blood sugar, you need to clothe them. When you pair those carbohydrates with protein and healthy fats, like, say, adding an egg or some peanut butter to that toast, you build a natural barrier. The protein and fats slow down digestion, ensuring the sugar is released into your blood smoothly and gently. This completely prevents those violent blood sugar spikes that damage your arteries.
You have immense power to protect your vascular health with some really simple habits. You can start by replacing processed sweets and baked goods with a handful of almonds, walnuts, and plenty of dark leafy greens. Prioritize getting quality sleep, too, because a well-rested body naturally fights off insulin resistance. But listen, if you do only one thing today, take a 10-minute walk after dinner. Just 10 short minutes of light movement activates your muscles to instantly use up the glucose you just ate. This makes a massive, massive difference for older adults. It helps your aging body process sugar incredibly efficiently and instantly takes the pressure off your circulatory system.
I want to share a quick moment of empathy with you all here. Many of us over 50, we grew up in an era where sugar-loaded breakfasts, sweet iced teas, and daily desserts were just the cultural norm. It was totally expected. Back then, no one was warning us about the long-term damage these habits do to our blood vessels. So please understand this. The goal of our explainer today is purely about building awareness. It is absolutely not about making you feel guilty for past habits.
From a medical standpoint, I can promise you this. Even well into your 60s and beyond, your vascular system deeply wants to heal. If you simply stop causing you damage and just reduce that constant pressure from excess sugar, the internal inflammation will subside. Your circulation will actually improve, and your energy levels will return. Your body is a miraculous machine, always naturally leaning toward repair and recovery. Those small daily habits, they truly, truly add up over time.
And that brings us to the end of today's explainer. Your blood vessels are literally the highway to an independent, sharp, and healthier older age. So my challenge to you tonight is this. What small habit will you change? Will you choose a few more greens, swap out that sugary drink, or maybe take that simple 10-minute walk after dinner? The total control over your health is right there in your hands. Start protecting your circulatory system with the smallest of steps today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I can't wait to explore more health insights with you next time.